morning. I'm Katharina Litchfield. I am currently a PhD student in language literacy and culture, and I just last year mastered science. Really given me support doing the kinds of work I look forward to doing. I have been engaged in a project for 3 years now, a book group through generous collaboration with Brenda Hampton, education advisor at Oakdale. This book group was in existence for quite a while. She was enough to probably thought I'd only last a year. I'm still there. When we started, about 7 guys that were coming regularly, now have 5. About as much as one book group can handle. The guys come because they're having fun, because it's fun to read a book, and it's fun to have an opportunity to think about responding to what you write it and to discuss it with each other. Kinds of conversations from engaging in a book give the opportunity to think about ideas outside the. Yes, it's leisure, it's also relief. What I've noticed while I've been involved, though, is that there's something more going on than just having fun. I'm trying to identify, I know the Department of Corrections enjoys their evidence, trying to identify something very difficult to measure, which is how does literacy affect recidivism, support a quality of life. Hard to put numbers on that. But what I have been able to identify and hope to continue to pursue, recognizing when the engagement in reading and written response, pro-social discussion with your peers, bring the beneficial skills of affect and cognitive empathy, perspective taking, being able to step outside of yourself and understand another person's perspective, whether it's geography or history or whatever differences you are between you and your reader, taking those steps give you a broader idea of the world and your place in it. And it occurred to me while I was identifying these skill building things that were happening in that book group, that these are exactly the same goals that we are looking for in a successful outcome in the restorative justice practice. The offender is part of that square of the Department of Corrections, the state, the community, the victim, and the offender are brought together in a restorative justice process for various reasons and various benefits to all parties. But the important one for the incarcerated person is understanding perspective and understanding how their actions affected another person. And that's a level of maturity, a level of understanding that's very difficult to teach in a direct way, very difficult to measure, but it is over time a regular output what happens inside a book. I would love to talk more about book groups, and we can do that in the breakout session in the afternoon, but what I really am excited to have the opportunity to talk to you about today, library services, which is where this all comes from for me. Right now, every institution in the state of Iowa has a library inside it. They used to have certified librarians. Today, they are run by inmate clerk. There's not a lot of money supporting the library service collection, limited. There's not a targeted plan. It's a place for providing secure, productive leisure. Same way that there are opportunities for the gym, for the art room, we also have a library. But what I am asking is for us to consider the opportunity to step outside of the library space and think of someone that we have in the past called a librarian. We can also call them a literacy coordinator. We can call them an information manager. We can call them something that brings all of the literacy events that are happening across the institution strategically organized together for one organized benefit. Of course, maintaining an effective and an inviting leisure library, a place that patrons are going to want to visit and spend time in. But also, how can a literacy coordinator help support administration and the treatment staff in identifying the resources that evidence-based practice cutting edge is being made available. How can we identify what we need? How can we facilitate it immediately and evaluate that it's working? This is work that, in collaboration with the Director of Research, a literacy coordinator, coordinating. Partnering with all of the treatment programs across the facility, the treatment, the counseling, parenting and family bonds, financial skills, digital skills, using secure digital technologies to teach both the digital literacy and the information that can be gained through them securely. Creating effective reentry programming, working with life skills, and all of the other affiliates that are working within the institution, working together as one. And finally, how we can use literacy skills that I've before mentioned in a book group, supporting restorative justice practice. So there are a few things that we can do right now, and I don't have that group involved right now, so that's why I'm taking the opportunity to talk to you about it. These are some ideas that I think are practical. I think they're sustainable. Some of them are affordable. We can talk about that. The first one, as I've said, I'm going to pursue the work with restorative justice. But beyond that, I would really love to see the University of Iowa School of Library and Information Science coordinate a student practicum. 3-month rotations of university library students spending time in a facility to assess the library services and to evaluate what can be done and what they can do over short periods of time to provide the service that just isn't available right now. Likewise, I would like to bring that kind of library service education serving the incarcerated into the mainstream library coursework. It doesn't exist right now. That conversation isn't happening very much, and it needs to. It needs to be mainstreamed, and it needs to consider all underserved populations, not just the prisons, but the jail system, juvenile centers, homeless, and other victimized populations. We have an incredible opportunity for a parent-child reading program, and Iowa City is extraordinarily lucky to have a lending library on wheels. It's Cassie Eldon in the audience. Stand up. She runs the Antelope Library. She was in my library cohort and has had incredible success in bringing library services to neighborhoods that haven't had access before. Why can't we bring that library to Oakdale and bring the children of incarcerated on board, read a book, record it, share it with their parent, and let's bring it back and do it vice versa, and the parent can share the reading of a story with their child. Family bonds are proven, reducing recidivism and better quality of life on release. And of course, finally, I'd like us to consider the reinstatement of a certified librarian, so I'd like to call them a literacy coordinator. I know this is tied to budget, I know that. Money's an issue, and I'm naive. I know, I don't know how to manage the budget of a State Department of Corrections, but I know someone that does. So I am ready to have that conversation. I'm going to self-promote a little bit because I am really interested in getting people together to think about steps that we can take, some action steps that aren't formed yet, but this is their infancy stage. So please, if you have any interest in any of this, contact me either this afternoon, after the event, email me, and we can talk. I had a poem that I wanted to share that was written by one of my participants in the book group. I won't take your time to read it out loud to you right now. It's rather long, but this is why I'm involved. This is why I'm there, is because this is the kind of response that comes from that engagement. Thank you.